Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. We in this piece. We in this piece. Are we in this piece? I think we in this piece. I think we in this piece. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all again for joining us on Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. We're back with episode 35, Thursday night special. You already know what time it is. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined with the co-host, the other host of the show, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. Santana, say something to the people.
Here was goody y'all. You know what I'm saying? We already know what it is. Episode 35, like my bro said, we moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? We got a packed show once again, as always. We got a whole bunch of shit to chop up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the routine. Like, subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get it going. You know what I'm saying? Chat, get it live. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it cracking.
Like my brother said, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't be shy. Show love. It helps us with the show. You know what I'm saying? It don't cost you nothing. You know what I mean? So throw up that like. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. The chat is in here early. Yo, shout out to Rowan Jack in the chat. You already know what time it is. Shout out to Amber in the building. You already know we your guys. You know what I'm saying? We in here moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? You see me with the fatigue going. You know what I'm saying? We in war mode. We ready. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's get into it. You already know popular opinions. All right, this segment is brought to you by OUV Records. You see it here. You see it in the back. OUV Records' motto is create, document, and inspire to stay in tune with the latest and the greatest music, merchandise. Go to OUV at OUV Records on Instagram right now. So, first question of the night. What's the best power season on this list? The best power season. Okay? Season 1, Season 2, Season 4, or Season 6? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. My brother, let me know what you thinking. Let me know what you think. I already know. I already know my answer to this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely going with season 1 because that's the season that set the stage for everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The very first episode. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
didn't know what was gonna happen. You see,
Mm-hmm.
clean cut brother, then the nigga go down in the basement of his fucking club and body somebody. You're like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So that just set the tone on how the whole series is gonna go. You just don't know what's gonna happen. And then on top of that, season 1 is so pivotal because it's like this is a series where it don't matter who you like. If them niggas gonna get off, they gonna get off. Niggas don't last all the way to the end of the series like other series do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who's a character in the first episode of the first season, the nigga might be gone by the third episode. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Facts.
That was unprecedented as far as like how series structure would be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I say season 1 because without season 1, there wouldn't be no season 4 or season 6. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's a big fact. Now, what do you think made season 1 the most successful? Because you named some things, but what made it the big draw that it was? Well, biggest draw, I should say.
Like how it wasn't like you couldn't tell what was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was mad unorthodox on how they wrote their season. So like you wouldn't know how shit was gonna go about. You didn't know like who was gonna get clipped, who was gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? You just had no idea. So
yeah,
that aspect of it was just for me top tier because it's like you don't know how the season's gonna be and shit. Like so
yeah.
go so hard the first season. It was like, nah, this shit they got something here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Me personally, I'm gonna say season 6, because it was the murderer's season, and the fact that Ghost appears to be dead, it showed the different point of view from all the people that had their gripes with Ghost. But when I rewatched it, their gripes was so petty. Nobody had a legitimate gripe. No one, not even Tyreek. Like he's basically graduating into becoming the father or the man that his father is. And to be honest with you, it's worse because at least Ghost is moving at some sort of code. Ghost is moving with the benefit of his family. Tyreek is just out here freestyling. And so basically, with him being the person that ends up killing Ghost, supposedly, um, I think personally season 6 had the most drama. It built up the most tension, in my regard. So I'm gonna say season 6. I'm seeing season 2. I'm seeing season 1. In the chat. Um, so again, and I think for me, what made season 6 the biggest draw was the fact that they had conclusion on some of these characters that needed a conclusion to. Like Dre needed to get up out of here. He done weaseled his way out of so many situations, and then he just had a lot of blood on his hands. So his karma came back to him in full circle. And the easiest part for Dre was the death part. Like it was real harsh that they burned them alive. But what I mean by the harsh reality is that now he doesn't have his daughter anymore. His baby moms fell for the chicken sandwich, and his moms got what she always wanted. So, and basically, which was a redo because she did such a, poor job raising him, and the disconnection that they had between mother and son. So, me personally, I'm going with season 6. I thought that was the best one. Um, any other seasons that wasn't on this list that you think should have been on this list? Because it was season 1, season 2, 4, and 6. So do you think season 3 and season 5, either one of those or both of those, should have been on this list instead of some of the ones that's on?
I thought what was it season 3 when he was had to now beef with the his so-called bodyguard that turned out to be the plug type shit? Was that season 3?
That could have been season 4, if I'm not mistaken. Because that's you talking about Mulan, right?
Yeah.
I think that's season 4. I think that all tied into the whole Raina situation, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. So 3, 5
It was 3. What was 3 about? I ain't go back and rewatch them in a minute.
in a minute. Yeah, because five is more so dealing with the aftermath of Raina's death. Um, he was in jail. Yeah, 4 he was in jail, and I believe the time he went to jail after Ghost or before Ghost.
I don't remember.
Because if Tommy went to jail before Ghost, then that was season 3. Yeah, that was season 3. And then one of my favorite parts of season 6 is when Tasha finally got arrested, and she had to take that walk of shame, and she had to take off all that the makeup, the eye stuff, and then when they took that hair hat off of her, bro, oh my god, like the realization of what was going on was just it was just too crazy for me. I love season 6. All right, so the rest of the
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah, the rest of the world, they went with season 6 at 30%. So I'm not mad at that. Obviously, I picked, season 6. But all these seasons are great. All these seasons are great, but the rest of the world agreed with me. What they saying? Yeah, he was in jail before. Also, Tommy went to jail before. He went to jail before Ghost. So if he went to jail before Ghost, then that's season 3. And when Tommy got out, that's when they killed the Lobos character. Right, so that was all season 3 because him and Tasha act like they was together to go to the hotel to that real nice spot because they was trying to get in with the big hotel group. So they had like this real plush hotel for them, like somewhere
Yeah,
up.
they create the alibi and shit.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was season 3. So all right, what they said in chat? Yeah, 3 was the return of Canaan. Yes, yeah. I thought two Canaan returned because I thought in season 2, at the end of season 2, I thought Ghost and Canaan had the big fight.
Like I said, I haven't watched them in a minute, so I can't even know
Okay.
exactly when what occurred in what season.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I think the chat is saying. Shout out to Sean in the building. He was saying 3 was the return of Canaan. So I'm guessing the return. So yeah, that makes sense. The return of Canaan, season 3 from season 2. All right, okay. Moving on. Next question. If you are an NFL franchise and you need a franchise quarterback, right? You need a franchise quarterback. Which option are you taking? 1, Dak Prescott. 2, Justin Fields. 3, Aaron Rodgers. 4, you're going to take your chances in the NFL draft.
You talking about just Aaron Rodgers right now, or Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers?
yeah.
Nah,
That's that. Yeah. These are
I'm going
these.
with
This is
Justin
specific.
Fields.
Yeah, this is all Pacific. I this not even a conversation if this is Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm
this is
going with
all right
Justin
now.
Fields.
So you're not going to take your chances in the draft.
Nah, I'm going with Justin Fields. You already proven.
Okay. What they saying in the chat? Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is not on this list. He's funny. Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Baron Rodgers. Well, he meant to say Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott. Okay. What else they saying in the chat? That was great. Yeah. Yeah, we just giving some time for you guys to answer in the chat, because I hear all the time that we move on too fast, bro. So I'm giving people, some time to answer in the chat as well. But we've gotten quite a few answers so far. Me personally, I'm gonna take my chances in the draft. Me personally, I like Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers, but he's an older version of himself, and I think he still can be productive. Justin Fields is a really good player. He's proven that he can play, and he hasn't had much help. The organization don't support him. They haven't put the right pieces around him. They tried to put some pieces around him, but it has not panned out, and it's not the right pieces. And as you can see with the draft coming up, instead of drafting Marvin Harrison Jr., which is a top tier receiver, he's going to be one of those receivers that people are going to be talking about in the upper echelon levels of the receiver room. Instead of just drafting him and trading back to get an extra pick and draft him at the same time, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is from Ohio State. Justin Fields is from Ohio State, so they got that connection. They not going that route. So, but I like Justin Fields. Pause. And Dak Prescott, I'm just not a believer in Dak, man. He too many empty calories. Me personally, I'm gonna take my chances in the draft. Jaden Daniels got a whole lot of tools, pause, that you can build up on his skill set, and and get him together. Have you talk about cam body nigga? Have we talked about cam body niggas? Cam body niggas. I don't even
That's
know.
fight.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Cam. I'm bugging Cam. You touch little girls, you sick. Whoa. Surprise chicken. Whoa. Shout out to you, but whoa. We don't do that over here. So the rest of the world, they went with take their chances in the NFL draft at 56%. So that was pretty a wide margin. All right, moving on. Who's the best movie mom on this list? Number one, Jennifer Lewis. Number two, Loretta Devine. Number three, Felicia Rashad. Or number four, Angela Bassett.
Mm.
Now, but we haven't talked about the Cam situation yet, but we will though. We will.
Between Jennifer Lewis and Loretta Devine, because they're the ones that played the moms the most. Uh,
Let us know what y'all think in the chat. Who was the best movie moms? So who you going with?
I'm going with Loretta Devine. She done played too many different roles as being the mom. You know what I'm saying?
So which role in particular? Well, obviously the mom role, but which movie in particular that you feel like you enjoyed her the most as a mom?
I think she was a mom in Waiting to Exhale, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, Mad wholesome. You know what I'm saying? Had the
Mm-hmm.
characteristics. So even though she had a son from kid from a previous relationship, she
Mm-hmm.
still carried herself like, no, I'm still a good catch, even though, you know what I'm saying, situation didn't work out with the first father. I'm still good out here. Like, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But you can still feel at home dealing with me and shit. So that was a good image of what a single mother would be like if they, you know what I'm saying, was still carrying themselves to high regard and shit.
Yeah. 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 Um. You forgot about the famous scene from that movie when she walked in on her son and the son was getting hella toppy. Like what happened, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't even talk about that, bro. Like what's popping? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mom's caught him, in the
Yeah.
in the in the beach
Gotta be
house.
happy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You got a son, you just gotta know he gonna do what he do, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, she dead caught him in the beach house and he was like, oh my. Yo, I don't know if y'all ever almost get caught by your mother having sex or doing something, you know what I'm saying? But you talk about a heart racer, bro. You know what I mean? But me personally, I'm going with Jennifer Lewis. I'm going with Jennifer Lewis. I loved her as a mom in all the movies, but one movie in particular that always sticks out in my mind about her, about being a mom, is the movie Cookout or The Cookout.
Mm-hmm.
Remember her in the Cookout where the kid was a high NBA draft pick, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
kind of like hold him down, and you know what I'm saying. So like, and it kind of remind me of my mom's in that movie too, because my mom's was real like intimidating to other people. Like the only time she would be like real soft is to me or my brother. Like we just had the key to like soften her up. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
already know what I'm saying. Like you know what I mean? Like we just got the swag to open mom dukes up pause. Like you get what I'm saying? Like keep her like cool. Uh them whack ass braids. I don't know who you talking about. I don't know who you talking about. But anyway, the rest of the world, they went with Angela Bassett at 46%. At 46%. And like not to mention Angela Bassett was great in what's the movie with her and Tay Diggs?
Oh, waiting to exhale.
No. He wasn't in that.
Angela Bassett, right?
Yeah, she was in that. He wasn't in that.
You said Tay Diggs.
Yeah.
Not waiting to exhale. I'm talking about what's the shit?
Stella got a groove back.
There we go.
Stella got a groove back. Stella got a groove back. And of course the Black Panther movies. So, you know what I'm saying? Rent. All right, so moving on to the next question. Uh Best melanated character on this list. Meteor Man, Blade, Spawn, or Black Panther? Let us know what y'all think in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. It helps the show. Make sure you hit that like button. We got Blade.
I'm
Shout
going
out,
with Blade.
Blade,
Hell yeah.
Blade. I'm
No games with niggas.
say why you pick Blade. You said what?
I say he ain't play games with his enemies. You know what I'm saying? They had to go. That's it.
Got straight to it. Me personally, you know who I'm going with. I'm going with the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? I just thought he's just a super dope character. It may seem like the most like typical answer, but I really mess with Black Panther. And most of all, the dopest thing about Black Panther for me is the fact that, and I wish we had this in real life, that they was able to go back to the ancestral plane where he could talk to his pops and help get some sort of mentorship or leadership, some sort of direction, answers about the past. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I just thought like that was just a part of like the litness of Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. Uh, who else we got we got Blade, we got Froze. What? From Demolition Man. Oh, she's talking about Simon Phoenix. Yeah, Simon Phoenix is not on this list. He's not on this list. But Simon Phoenix was popping though. He was popping. Like he was real like he was real like a super strength karate master, just throwing people from the whip with one hand. Like he was doing a lot. Like but Simon Phoenix was popping from the Demolition Man movies. Shout out to Wesley Snipes that plays Simon Phoenix. The rest of the world, they went with the Black Panther at 61%. Yeah, yeah. All right, moving on. Next question. What's your favorite Mary J. Blige song? One, Be Happy. Two, You Bring Me Joy. Three, All Night Long. Four, Real Love.
I'll go with Be Happy.
Yo, come on, gee, that Be Happy popping. That be happy popping. Like, do you remember where you were when you first heard Be Happy?
Not really. Nah.
Nah. All right. Well, that's my joint too. I'm gonna go with matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go with Be Happy, even though that's my joint. I'm gonna go with All Night Long. I'm gonna go with All Night Long. That joint was popping. That joint was popping. They stupid in the chat. Simon Phoenix was Wesley Snipes with Dennis Rodman's strength. That's definitely a fact. Dreadlocks look like they would have want to be anywhere else but here. That was. Shout out to Dama in the building. You must be related to Jeffrey. Yeah, funny. So the rest of the world they went with Be Happy at 43%. They went with Be Happy at 43%. All right, so moving on to the next question. Again, make sure y'all put your answers in the chat and hit that like button. All right, so this is a Martin question, right? Because the theme of the show we got from Martin, the name of the show we got from Martin is a Martin quote. So we throw Martin questions in from time to time. If people don't know the Martin show, the most popping show ever of all time, right? So if Tommy had a job, what would it have been? One, a stripper. Two, a thief. Three, a welder. Four, private eye.
I don't see the Tommy as being no thief. Stripper, there was an episode where
I mean, what you mean, bro? He was sitting at the table. He's still a CD player. You know what I'm saying?
they assume he stole the CD player. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I'm going with Private Eye, son.
You going with private eye?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, if I had to choose something, like I'm gonna say a welder. I'm gonna say a welder because like why would Tommy have the welding kit when Gina was, you know what I'm saying, got her head stuck in the headboard.
Oh yeah, he did come with the kid.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just had it on tuck, like just so when you just walking around welding shit, like that's just what we doing, Tommy. Like that's what you trying to get us to believe that this is what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with welder. In the chat, my friends asked if you have any advice. Okay, GTD. Yeah, that's right, GTD. Get the draws. Pause. Um, the rest of the world, they went with Private Eye at 46%. They went with Private Eye at 46%. So,
it makes sense. Remember that episode? He was like, "Yo, Tommy, I don't even know if you even came out the building and shit." He's like, "All right, so he's like, yo, I picked you up from your job. It was a big white building. It had no windows, no doors." He's like, "I don't even know if you came out the building." He's like, "I don't even work there no more." He's like, "All right, we on to something now. So where you at?" He's like, "Yo, the big black building across the street." He's like, "That means you ain't got no job, Tommy."
I thought you would have said Private Eye because of the episode when Cole was dating the girl and she was like, they seen her on America's Most Wanted. And Martin came up with this plan to get her fingerprints. So when she grabbed the cup to drink some water, Tommy's like, "Oh, I see a little smudge on that cup." And he grabbed the joint with the batons and took the joint to the and put it in a little plastic baggie in the kitchen or whatever. I thought you was gonna say that because of that. All right, we moving on. We moving on to Hollywood need to ask us. Basically this segment came up because we have a lot of movies that's out and about and they just straight garbage. Ain't nobody greenlit these movies, so we coming up with ideas of movies that will be dope to see for us as the viewing public. You got a movie? You got a movie for us?
I definitely want to see a movie about George Washington Carver, specifically about all his inventions that we still use to this day.
Yeah.
He's been accredited to a lot of inventions, but you know what I'm saying? They don't slide. I doubt that they slide his money and his family any bread for all the inventions that he came up with. I think he has like over 100 inventions and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to see a movie or a series about his life, how his mind worked, how he was able to come up with all these inventions, and just really like what set him apart from everybody else around that time he was alive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's a dope idea. Anybody who you would think to play that character, or somebody that you would want direct it, produce it?
To play George Washington Carver, let's see. Probably a young George Washington Carver. I'll probably fuck with John Boyega.
Okay, I can see that.
An older version of him, probably. Damn, older version. What's Angela Bassett's husband's name again?
Or Courtney Vance.
Yeah, older version will probably be him. He got that. He got that look and appeal.
Okay.
Director. Let me see. I would love to see how Jordan Peele do this one. You know
Okay. Would you be interested in having the movie about him, but kind of turn it into some sort of thriller, or you do straight, just stick to the script type of jump?
Nah, stick to the script, but I would like to see how Jordan Peele do it outside of doing thrillers and suspense movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Okay.
feel like he got a lot of stuff in his bag, really. Got
Mm-hmm.
saying dig into the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
your grandma looking for that
Yeah.
cork in the bottom of the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go in there. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I could see a Jordan Peele or shit. Throw what you gonna call Robert Townsend. You know what I'm saying?
Robert, you think he could do that? Oh, no. Well, we're talking about directing. I'm thinking as a
Yeah.
The lead. I can't see him as the lead for that, but I
Nah,
could
I
see him
could
as
see him as
I'm
like
directing that.
producer, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
overseeing it type shit. Get my man Robin Townsend out here, legend in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear his name being talked about in the realm of being a living legend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would love to see him do something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. All right. Me, uh, I want to see a movie about consequences from crime, like true consequences. I think we are at a place in time where, like, the youth in real time don't care about consequences because they don't understand consequences. Like, they see crime, do crime, and think that their life can't be changed by the decisions that they make. So, like, and even certain crimes, like I've seen it on Atlanta, like, what's a crime that's very big that happens on a regular basis is busting people windows out. They'll come like really early in the morning and they'll have like the little joint bust windows out and try to steal whatever's in the car, which is crazy because most people don't keep stuff in their car anymore. So, they walk around just busting windows basically for the fun of it. So when you got people walking outside, there's like a whole row of cars with busted windows on both sides. So those are consequences that could really change people's life because that's people's personal property. So I want to see a movie based on that, based on uh crimes like that, scamming, like the effects that it has on your life. Because we look at a lot of these movies as more so of a glorification instead of understanding the true value of consequences of the things that they've done. So I want to see a movie regarding that, and then I think it would be dope if they use cooking as a source of redemption. So the character, he doesn't know, but he falls in love with cooking, like falls in love with a skill that changes his life. So that way, when he gets out and he gets into the cooking game,
Mm-hmm.
that he falls in love with something because now he understands like there's something to live for. So I think that would be a dope second chance movie, and that way it could also promote uh healthy eating. So like this cook, or the person that turns into a cook, he only makes healthy meals, and we only do what we see in movies. So it would be dope that they go from the character arc is just crazy. So it goes from having nothing to live for and just doing what he think is fun, then facing consequences, now the second chance and the redemption, and then within the redemption teaching people how to cook and eat healthy. So I think that would be a dope watch. Somebody that would direct this, I want to give this movie to somebody that's a great actor, that I believe that will have a great eye for directing. So I would want Denzel Washington to direct this movie. Me personally. Because the way Denzel move, he's a terrific actor, but I'm surprised he's never really tried his hand at directing. And I would like to see what he would do in this movie as far as being the director. Um, and then on top of that, I would love to see his son be the star in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
A character that faces the consequences. He's young enough and old enough to go through the trials and tribulations of everything. So I think that would be dope. They're going off in the chat. What would be the title? What would be the title? I'm not sure what the title that would be as of right now, but I think that would be a dope. Don't understand the long term consequences of instant gratification. Very factual. Shout out to the chat, Rowan Jack. He dropping knowledge. They would have to make that into a series. I don't think they have to make that into a series. There's plenty of movies that you can do that within the 1 hour and 49 minute aspect. I've seen redemption movies that was just more so entertainment. They didn't get to the grit of what the consequences was. Like when you think of a Carlito's Way, they did it amazingly where Carlito was basically trying to, well, he faces his consequences, and now he's trying to move the right way. But the other part of the movie is that he had to fall back into the life to get back out of the life. So you can do it, but the focus and the focus would be a little different. The angle's a little different. So so yeah, shout out to Simba in the building. Shout out to Simba in the building. Different chances make different. Yeah, so like I said, I think that would be a dope movie. Like I said, that's who I want to direct. That's who I would want to star. I can't remember his son's name. I think it's John. Uh, I don't want to mess with John David. John David. Uh, John David Washington. I
Yeah.
think he would be dope for that. I think he would be dope for that. So that's my movie for Hollywood need to ask us. All right, yo, make sure y'all hit that Patreon, patreon.com. Can the Brothers Get a Rap Podcast? Again, Patreon. Can the Brothers Get a Rap Podcast? Make sure y'all tap in. You can get merchandise right now as we speak. So tap into Patreon. All right, moving on to one of our most, lovable segments of the show is our must see segment. Must see movie, must hear music, must see show, and we might have some cologne for you. You know what I'm saying? Get you right. You know what I mean? You got 3 movies that we should tap into.
Yes, sir. All right, chat. You already know how I do. I always come up with a theme. Uh,
Yo, hold on,
Bro
hold
and
on.
Jack already. You
Yo,
already know the sauce. You know what I'm saying?
chat, they already said you had the theme man.
All right. So this one is a cult movies, but this one deals with society. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So every movie that's on this list, it showcases the level of how deep the occult goes in the society which the movie is based on. All right. So the first one is The Wicker Man. There's two. The one that came out in 1974, but this
Mhm.
one is from 2006. Stars Nicolas Cage, Ellen Brunson, Kate Bahan, Molly Parker, Lily Sobowski, James Franco, and Francis Conroy.
Mhm.
Basically, about a sheriff played by Nicolas Cage who is investigating the disappearance of a young girl from a small town. And then you gotta watch the movie. So the society is the small town. So you gotta see how that goes. Next one is Hereditary. Came
Mhm.
out in
Good movie.
2018. Stars Tony Collette, Alex Wolff, uh, um, Millie Shapiro, Gabrielle Byrne, and Dowd, David Stanley, Mallory Betchell. So this film follows a grieving family tormented by a demonic cult.
Mhm.
But you gotta see the movie to see how this family deals with it. Very
Mhm.
crazy movie, very underrated for sure. Now, my favorite out this list is The Believers. Came out in 1987.
Mhm.
Stars Martin Sheen, Harley Cross, Carla Pinza, James Smith, Robert Logie, Annie Marie Quintero, and Ramsey Faden.
Mhm.
Basically about a New York psychiatrist that finds a Bruja inspired cult which believes in child sacrifice and has a keen interest in his own son. Now, the society aspect of this one is the individuals that's in there, you see what level of society at.
Mhm.
And these are upper echelon. These ain't low tier people. These are upper echelons, and this is what they believe in. And you got to see the movie how it plays out. Very fire movie. Is basically it just showcases you the whole thing. Like I can't
Mhm.
believe they even made this movie. It
Mhm.
just showcases the whole everything there is about it. Um there's no hiding none of it. You know what I'm saying? You could per se think like, oh, it's a movie, it has nothing to do with real life, but not this one. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta check it out. So
Mhm.
cult movies that deal with societies is The Wicker Man, Hereditary, and The Believers. All three fire. You won't have all of them have twists at the end, so you're not gonna be prepared for none of them. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
definitely tune in and check those movies out. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ruin 12 in the building.
Ruin
We
12 was goody.
starting already with the craziness. Hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Yo, before I get to my list, I noticed you got the Perry View, HSBU Joan on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Popping back on the HSBU joint,
yeah.
popping. So make sure y'all tap into my brother's movies. The dope movies. I've seen 2 out of 3 of those dope fire movies. So make sure y'all tap in to see those. Y'all know me, I don't have no theme. I try to list the dopest movies that I don't think that you ever seen before, and it's must sees. Trust me. All right, so my first movie is the movie G. The movie G came out in 1997. It was directed by Christopher Carlett. He's also done Half Plenty. He was also the star in Half Plenty, the movie Half Plenty. This movie stars Richard Jones, Blair Underwood, Sharona Maxwell, Laz Alonso, Andre Royo, uh, Sonia John, and Nicole Banks. You probably know Sonia John and Andre Royo from playing in The Wire. He played Bubble. Got shot, but she was came back. She made it back. I should say. Y'all know Laz Alonso. Y'all know Richard Jones is playing Slim from The Wood. Really dope movie. It was about a successful rap artist. He's having like this big party, and he invites everybody that's worth inviting. The magazine is trying to get some sort of information about his latest movements and groovings. And back at that time, music artists used to be more mysterious. This is before social media, so it was like a thing for artists to be mysterious, and you didn't know what they had coming out next. It's not like how it is today. So they was trying to get the inside scoop, and you got to see the rest of the movie. It's a fire movie. It has drama. It has some comedy in there, and some people gonna get bodied. So it's a dope watch. Make sure y'all tap into the movie G. Uh the next movie, How to Be a Player, came out in 1997. It was directed by Lionel Martin. Shout out to Amber in the building. Uh Directed by Lionel Martin. This is a star-studded cast. Bill Bellamy, uh fine ass Mari Moreau, Bernie Mac, Anthony Johnson, Jermaine Hopkins, Lark Voorhees, Beverly Johnson, Gilbert Godfrey, Kimberly Elisa Neal, Max Julian, Pierre Edwards, and Natalie DeSalle. Fire movie about just a bachelor on his super bachelor man. This is like bachelorhood on steroids. He got the fire. He got the fire apartment, condo, unit, whatever you want to call it. Got the nice whip. He got all the chicks. You know what I'm saying? He got all the chicks. You know what I'm saying? Player from the Himalayas. But what's dope is that it's a comedy, but it has an arc to the movie where him being a player starts to have his effects on his real life. He also has a girlfriend, and like his homeboys is like enamored with his lifestyle. He has a dope job. Like his job is something like that deals with the record industry at that time. It's just a dope movie, and it's a must see. So make sure y'all tap in to see How to Be a Player. And it's funny. Look at the names I read off. I mean, Bernie Mac, uh, uh, Anthony Johnson. Y'all know Anthony Johnson for playing Ezel on the Friday. Beverly Johnson is she's beautiful and funny. Gilbert Godfrey. Um, Pierre Edwards is funny. He's always been funny. He plays his best friend. So it's a dope movie. And Jermaine Hopkins, shout out to Jermaine Hopkins. He's like a low key legend. He played like the little kid in Lean on Me. He played Still and
Mhm.
and the movie with Omar and Pac, Juice. So make sure y'all tap into How to Be a Player. And my third movie came out in 1995, Losing Isaiah, directed by Stephen Gyllenhaal, stars the beautiful Halle Berry, Jessica Lange, Samuel L. Jackson, Cuba Gooding Jr., uh, Latoya Richardson, Mark John Jeffries, Jolie Lee, and John Beasley. Amazing movie about a young lady that's in the streets. She's addicted to drugs. Uh, don't even realize she's pregnant. She don't even realize it. She has this baby and just gets rid of the baby like it was never a thing. They find the baby, take it to the hospital, and you gotta see the rest of the movie. It's one of them ones. It's one of them ones. One of Halle Berry's best performances, and it's a dope movie. If you haven't seen it already, it's called Losing Isaiah. So my three must sees again is Losing Isaiah, How to Be a Player, and the movie G. So make sure y'all tap into that. All right, so we're gonna get into some must-hear music. Must tap into this. I got an album, and I got a playlist, and I got a verses. So make sure y'all tap into All for One's first album. Make sure y'all tap into that self-titled All for One fire album. So make sure y'all tap into that R&B pop group All for One. Y'all probably know their most famous song, "She Got Skills." You remember the movie soundtrack of "Nothing to Lose" with Martin,
Yeah.
and the song "She Got Skills" popped up. That's that group. So they, you know what I'm saying, they popping like that. Next, make sure y'all get y'all a Rough Riders playlist. Get y'all a Rough Riders playlist. Rough Riders consists of DMX, Locks, Dragon, Eve. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but that was the gist of the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders. So make sure y'all tap into, and this is what the Rough Rider playlist will sound like. Rough Riders anthem, By My Side, Down Bottom, Knock Yourself Out, Get It on the Floor, Let Me Blow Your Mind. Pause. My niggas, Ride or Die. We gonna make it. Good times. Love is blind. Slipping. Why? Locked up. What y'all want to do? No love for me. Wild out. What's my name? Got a man. Pause. And how it's going down. That's how that playlist will come out.
Too many hits right there.
Crazy. So uh, make y'all a Rough Riders playlist. All right. And third is the heavy hitters. This is the heavy hitters, I think, of all the verses that I've done so far. Um, Matter of fact, I would say second. This is second out of all the verses that I've done so far. So we got a New Edition versus the Jacksons.
Mm.
And we talking about New Edition songs and all their songs from within New Edition. So we got New Edition top tier Jones. We got Bobby Brown top tier Jones. We got BBD top tier Jones. We got Ralph Tresvant top tier Jones. Like all that combined into one. Johnny Gill. You know what I'm saying? So all that against the Jacksons. And you know what the Jacksons is bringing in. So make sure y'all get y'all verses of New Edition versus the Jacksons. And again, y'all know who the Jacksons is. Stop playing. They don't even need no introduction. You got a classic show for us?
Classic. Not a classic, but it just recently came out. They only gave him 3 seasons. I don't know why, but this shit was fire. It's on Stars. It's called American Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Fire ass show. Fire. It came out 2017. Like I said, it had 3 seasons. Stars Ricky Whittle, Neil Gaiman, pause. Uh, Ian McShane, Orlando Jones,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Longley, Brian Fuller, uh, Pablo Shriver, Emily Browning, and Gillian Anderson. Basically about a dude that comes out of jail and comes to find out his lineage is of a godly sense, and he becomes part of the new gods. But now they gotta fight the old gods.
Mm-hmm.
Series on how that shit plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Fire series. The concept was dope. It can be a little cerebral because of the length and the depthness of the dialogue, but still fire. Fire ass series. Uh, got they shut it down too soon, I feel, but it was just dropping too many jewels. So I get it. I get why they had to get rid of it. But
And you
again,
said seasons they had?
huh?
You said how many seasons they had?
I only had 3 seasons.
Okay.
So yeah, so American Gods, you can catch it on Stars right now. Fire. Definitely check it out when you guys get a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Rough Riders, Ash, take it easy on your finger, girl. With that, take it easy on your girl with that finger. Yeah, this finger's diabolical. You know what I'm saying? It's diabolical, big. Nah, I'm playing. Man, y'all funny. My show I'm going with, that's a must see show. If you haven't seen this show, I don't know where you ever been. I don't know anyone that haven't seen this show, but I'm gonna speak on it anyway. The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta see the Cosby Show. Classic, top tier show. First season started in 1984. They was out for 8 seasons. Um, this stars Bill Cosby, Felicia Rashad, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Tempest Bledsoe, Keisha Knight Pulliam, Lisa Bonet, Sabrina LaBeouf, Jeffrey Owens, Raven Simone, Earl Heyman, Dion Richmond, Joseph C. Phillips, Erica Alexander, Michelle Thomas, and Carl Anthony Payne II. I mean, it's a show about a family. Mother's a lawyer, father's a doctor. Comedy, funny about just kids growing up and teaching kids the way to go, and it's within a household structure. I mean, raising kids is probably the most stressful, the most fulfilling, the funniest, terrifying, all that in one. And they showed it on this show with different episodes where it was just like when you see them do well, and then you see them act up, like in the different reactions that each of the parents had. It was a dope movie, and regardless of the fact that both parents was well off and they were a well off couple, married couple, they still deal with their kids accordingly. Like I remember there was one time where the middle child, Vanessa, she ran off and sneaked off out of Brooklyn to go to some sort of concert with her homegirls all the way upstate New York. And when they found out she finally came back home, yo, Felicia Rashad with her mother, Claire Huxtable, she was ready to smack her face off. Like she barked on her so crazy, like, and that's what I'm saying. It had nothing to do with their social status, their financial status. Like they was like still real parents. Like she was ready to two-piece her. Like, yo, like you put this, like you made this family like really worry about you. So it's a dope show. If you've never seen it, which is crazy to me, but make sure you tap into the
That's,
cop. Oh, what you said?
no, I said that's a fact. That's a classic right there.
Yeah, and it never gets old. Never gets old. You got Cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne. You look good, you feel good, you smell good, you're gonna do good. So going back to mind games again, but this time scent and fragrance we're gonna go after is blockade. So mind games, blockade, get that, won't steer you wrong. Definitely smell good. You know what I'm saying? You do good, you smell good, you're gonna move good. You know what I'm saying? So the
Facts.
fragrance today is mind games, blockade.
Facts. So make sure y'all tap and get y'all some blockade. This next segment is brought to you by Button Snap Streaming, where you get classic movie shows, documentaries, as well as original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Button Snaps Streaming. So it's time to rap, y'all. So y'all been asking about it all show. Uh, the Cam Newton incident. The Cam Newton incident. And it's so funny. We was gonna talk about it before, but it didn't happen during our next episode. It actually happened the day of, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it. So the Cam Newton episode where you had what we thought was 3 kids or 4 kids jumping Cam Newton, but it turned out to be 4 grown men trying to jump Cam Newton. It turned out to be coaches that was there at his camp that tried to jump Cam Newton. And it was based on jealousy because there was also footage before the fight where you had one of the coaches pretty much feeling like he was a better talent evaluator and a better instructor than Cam Newton when it came to drills and knowing how to get the best out of the kids. What do you think about the incident?
I don't know if Cam has spoke on it yet, but I've seen clips of the coaches who were in the fight, so I've seen their point of view. So I'd like to see Cam Newton's point of view as to what actually transpired. So um, it's kind of up in the air because it's like we don't have Cam Newton's point. I get their point, but I'd love to see or hear Cam Newton's point of how that transpired because one of the coaches was saying as he was coming up the stairs, he just noticed, you know what I'm saying, Cam Newton just hemming his brother up. So, you know what I'm saying, that's his brother. So he gonna go and fight for his bro and stuff. And what supposedly what they were saying was that Cam Newton was talking trash in the parking lot. He was basically mentioning like, yo, oh, let's put some money up on this game. And the coach was like, yo, you already lost like 3 times already. You know what I'm saying? There's no point in putting no money up. And Cam's like, oh, you know, I got money. It's not about money. So trying to come at him like that. That's what they're saying. So I would love to see what Cam's point of view in the whole situation was to actually get a real in-depth on the situation. So they had mentioned that the coach was saying that he was walking up the stairs, and that's when the footage of the fight actually happened. As he's walking up the stairs, you see, you know what I'm saying, Cam hamming him up, and that's when the fight breaks out or whatever. So again, I like to see Cam's point. He got a podcast, so talk about it and see. Let's hear your point of view or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Outside of that coach saying that he pretty much walked into the situation as it popped off, do you think there's ever a situation where you have 3 coaches that would try to jump this NFL legend, and this is the NFL's legend's spot, pretty much? This is his camp. Do you think there is ever a situation where it results to a fight based on that explanation of trying to bet these men?
I mean, if a man is talking to you wild disrespectfully, it's like at the end of the day, it's like it don't matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a certain way you gotta talk to people, regardless of your status in life. You know what I'm saying? Men can talk to each other in a certain way to get their point across. But then if you talking or if you're talking down to a man, after a while, it's like they don't want to hear that no more. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I like to hear what his point of view was and how it transpired. Hopefully it'll be the truth, but we don't know. We weren't there. We only got these videos and we only got these people explaining it from their point of view and stuff. So that's why I like to hear what he got to say about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely want to hear what Cam Newton have to say, but I still have pushback on that because, like, yeah, if that was to be true, right? If that was to be true, would that have been the same reaction instead of Cam Newton if that was Peyton Manning, Tom Brady? Would that have been the same reaction? Because
But the thing is, I don't see them talking to men crazy. You know what I'm
it
saying?
doesn't matter if that
It
was the
does matter because it's like if you talking to people crazy, it's gonna cause a reaction as opposed to talking to somebody with respect. Maybe there's a disagreement, but you can have a disagreement and talk to somebody with respect. You know what I'm saying?
right. But the part that doesn't matter is the fact that you don't see it. It doesn't matter that you don't see it. If they did that, so we're saying that they are talking crazy. So now that we already set the parameters, they're talking crazy. So do you think that if they're talking crazy to these brothers, that these brothers would be like, yo, I'm a snuff Peyton Manning?
If they're talking crazy, I believe that, yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Dude, that's me. I believe that. Because if you're talking crazy, it really doesn't matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? But my
Right.
thing is like, I don't see Peyton Manning or Tom Brady talking crazy to people. You know what I'm saying? We already know there's a history of Cam Newton talking crazy to people. He's had some mad camps before where they're not respecting him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence of Peyton Manning camp or Drew Brees camp where the disrespect is at an all-time high by the man who's hosting the camp. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
we don't. But I get what you're saying, right? But we don't know that. We don't know that, right? So if that was the case, and the reason why I'm bringing up the differences is because we have a visceral hate against each other as a people. So it wouldn't. I don't think it would be the same reaction. I've seen people that don't look like me and you talk to people that look like me and you a certain type of way, and there's nothing that was done.
Me personally, I've never seen that. I've seen each other talk crazy to us, but I've never seen somebody outside of us talk crazy to somebody and none be done.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I've seen like at the end of the day, we're talking about somebody that's throwing their camp, right? And you have other coaches that will come in and and be help. They basically there to help. You can't talk to every single kid at all times of the camp, but we have a visceral hate amongst each other. It's like, oh, he think he popping, and yeah, he got a history of talking, but like as a man, you have to deal with things accordingly. So I don't think you're going to get the same reaction if that was Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, regardless if we think that they won't say nothing, because those guys do have a history of talking shit, but we don't know the history of their camps to say that, yo, at that camp, they talk shit. I mean, there's histories of even Deion Sanders' son going to a quarterback camp that's ran by one of the past quarterbacks was talking crazy or didn't, I don't want to say talk crazy, he didn't believe in Shador, and Shador left. And he ended up playing one of those coaches and torched them this past year. So we don't know what their personality is in real life. But what I'm saying is that because we have a visceral hate towards each other, that could have been a conversation instead of just popping off and snuffing Cam Newton. And you're not going to beat Cam Newton. Like, as a man, you're going to take care of yours, but do the 6'5", 245. Like, what's the end game there? You like for order you to pop off, you trying to win. Like Cam Newton was so much bigger than these dudes. We thought they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the end game for real? So that's my biggest point is that the visceral hate that we have amongst each other, even if we have a disagreement, even if we're talking crazy to each other or whatever the case may be, we address it as men. And if we can't come to an understanding, then we handle it a certain way. But you have to have that same standard for everybody. And I know for a fact that as a culture, we don't, because we're too forgiving of other cultures. We see it every day. We see it every day where our culture will come to the aid of somebody outside the culture that don't need no saving. They let them get this ass whooping. Let them catch that. But we so like we defend others before we defend ourselves. But we have this visceral hate amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why me personally, I don't see it the way I don't see it that way. I don't see them. I don't see if that was Peyton Manning having a bad day or whatever the case may be, and he's talking crazy to all the coaches, not just these coaches, all the coaches, that they gonna pop off. I don't see it. I don't see it, and we do that amongst our culture all the time. So that's just me personally. So, anything you want to add before we move on to this?
No.
All right. So moving on, it, crazy. It's a crazy. What's the best way to say this? It's a crazy fakeness. I don't know this to be true, but they saying that urine is the best cure for skin care treatment. What do you think about that?
Who's saying that?
They're saying this on all right. Don't laugh, right? Skincare.net. No, I'm sorry. Skincare people via skincare people is some sort of organization. They're saying that urine is the best skincare treatment.
How?
Well, the guy he was saying because of the nutrients in our urine benefits our skin, and then we don't have to worry about the smell because the smell would dissipate and all this other stuff. So I'm very cognizant of not just the news on when it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like the source of the information. So what do you think about that notion that urine is supposed to be the best cure for skincare?
It's urine. How the hell that's gonna be the best skincare product? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking urine for one. For two, so you mean to tell me a nigga that eat McDonald's every day, he gonna have good urine for his skincare? Like, get the like, come on, son. Like,
Yeah.
come
Shout out to the chat. Roy Jack is stupid. So R. Kelly was out here giving help to that poor. Yo, that is hilarious. Yeah, R. Kelly was out here helping the community.
on. That's
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I don't believe that, but it is what it is on that.
I don't believe they research. They need more research.
You
Matter of
don't believe?
fact, don't even do research. We don't need no research on that. Cause then you put shit on a nigga forehead, it's gonna clear the blemishes on his forehead. Like, get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And that's wild, son. You gonna go back to your creator and be like, yo, you used to let people pee on your face?
yeah.
Because they told you it was good skincare? Like, come on, bro. That's not what you was put on the earth to do, blood. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
good for ashy elbows. He said that the chat is good for ashy elbows. Y'all funny. All right.
It's good for the back fat. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the back fat.
All right. So moving on, as the time is heating up for the conversation is getting more in depth about the college football game. This is the third episode in a row that we spoke about the college football game that's coming out, college football 25. As that heating up to come out for PS5. Now PlayStation is saying that they're gearing up for a PS6 to come out.
Come on, son. I didn't even get the 5 yet, son. Like, yo, stop playing.
Yo, that's crazy, right? Like
How long the PS5 hasn't even been out that long, has it?
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It gotta be like, it can't be no more than 5 years, son.
That's what I thought. Like honestly, I think all the PS systems come out too quick. I think once we really get comfortable with a system, it feels like they just what I'm saying. It's like, damn, I'm really getting the hang of this now, and then it's like what happened to just making it better within the system? So now it's like, as soon as you get comfortable with one joint, they come out with this other joint. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, how much money are we going to get? Are we going to give?
It's like by the time you get to the latest PS version, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they drop a new one. And it's like, bro, I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even just rock out with a PS2 because it's obsolete. I
Mm-hmm.
can't rock out with a PS3 because they don't make games for this junk no more. I can't rock out with a PS4 with certain games because after a while the network don't work for the game no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can't play 2K20, 2K was it 20 because the network don't work.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They cut it off after a while. So it's like, yo, bro, like you forced me to go get the newer version of these games. It's like that's wild to me, where it's like you gotta force me to go get it. Like, nah, son, like chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a PS6 is insane when y'all ain't even dropped fucking GTA 6 yet. Like, yo, chill. Let me get the PS5 and let me rock out with my NCAA, my G6, and I'm gonna be cool. It'd be a minute before a person even think about getting a new system after them 2 games drop.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like it's really about to heat up for y'all for the PS5s. Like the PS5s are gonna get sold out. I told you I'm still playing the PS3 mainly because my favorite games in the world is NCAA football. I'm still playing 2014. I'm still playing San Andreas GTA San Andreas edition. And not to mention I love Madden 25 because you could take those players from the college football game and draft them into the Madden 25 game. Then I have March Madness for that year too, the 2014 for that year, and I also like to play uh uh 2K WWE 2K. I think that's 2K 15 or 16 for that one. And where you could create your wrestler, you could give them a custom entrance music, all that shit. Like all that shit is popping to me that I do from my PS3 and Fight Night. So those are the games I play all the time. So now that they got college football coming, now y'all got me. Y'all got a new buyer, and I'm pretty sure it's like that for a lot of people. That that them PS5s are gonna start heating up, and it's like, yo, now y'all want to drop the PS6? Come on, man.
What
Like,
game are you gonna have for that? Ain't nothing that we gonna be really waiting for other than GT6, and y'all said that's coming for PS5. So it's like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not thinking about no PS6. That's insane. Like, what we
yeah,
gonna be in the game now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like, we
Like,
doing some Ready Player One shit. Like,
yo,
just be in the game.
I was just about to say that, bro. Like, and when I watched Ready Player One, I said, "There's no way in the world we're gonna live in this type of world one day," and we live in that type of world today, bro. It's probably not to the worst extent, but it is to the worst extent. Like people would rather go get a PlayStation, create an avatar, and be that in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't care about money for real, bro. Like they care about the things that they like to do. We use money as a tool. So I definitely like was saying that when I seen Ready Player One, I was like, yo, there's no way. But yeah,
They're gonna
is
catch a couple of people, and it's like,
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Next thing, uh, the L.A. Lakers center Christian Woods responded to pulling up to someone's house. They were saying that his son was kidnapped, but obviously the son is not kidnapped if you know where the son is at. So his mother's people, well, not his mother, his baby's mother's people had the son in his house, and he came by to get the son, to see the son, and he ended up having to call the cops to resolve the situation because they wasn't letting him in to see his son or to get his son. What do you think about that?
the laws gotta change, really. Like, y'all giving these women way too much ammunition, real talk. Like, again, it gotta be a case by case basis for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like, yo, women are so vindictive. It's like, why you don't allow him to see his son? Like, where's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you talking about? If it was in reverse, oh, cops be on his ass crazy.
Yeah, facts.
It wouldn't
Facts.
be, oh, it's not considered kidnapping. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he came in and took his son without my permission. What's that called?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though it's his son too,
Right.
but because the son lives with the mother and he came without quote unquote permission, which is insane to me. Why does the father need permission to see his child anyway? If
Mm-hmm.
you pulling up, he pulling up. Just have my son ready, period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate. It's like the laws definitely got to change on that regard. Like laws got to change on a lot of things, but that for sure is one of them because people is going to continuously have kids, and people are going to continuously, not continuously, but sometimes make the wrong decisions in partners, thinking they're going to be this way, and then all of a sudden they somebody totally different. So the laws got changed and be on some case by case basis. Like you got to see who's a better parent, who's better fit, and especially men have to have way more rights. Like that's crazy. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like just because you give birth to the child does not give you automatic rights because the child came out of you. Without me, you wouldn't have no child.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Without my, you know what I'm saying? Like you would not give birth, and without you, I would not have no kid. So it goes both ways. But the mere fact that because you have holding the child for 9 months, you have more claim to the child. I don't get that. How?
yeah. I think it's more so the narrative. We assume, especially in our community, we assume like once we have the kid, that the child, like we go home as a family, and that child is just as mine, if not more, because that child carries my blood. You're the carrier. Now, granted, if you don't carry and push them out, there's no life. But I put life inside you to carry. So I will be nice enough to say that that child is just as much mine. Well, yours just as much as mine. It's carrying my blood. We don't have the blood of our mothers. That's how you follow the who's your father. That's how you can tell who your daddy is. I's the pappy. That's how you tell who the pappy is. Is the
We
fact
all
the child carries the blood of his father.
we all know it's your child because they came out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Granted, cool.
right,
But who impregnated you?
right.
Now we have to go get swab spit, get blood, and see
Mm-hmm.
who the father is because
Mm-hmm.
that's how you know what I'm saying. That's the only way we'll know. Yeah, it's very easy to know who the mother is. You carry
Mm-hmm.
the child, came out of you, simple, perfect. All right, but now who the father? Now
Mm-hmm.
we got to do more scientific research to figure that part out because it's more in depth. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The mother part is easy,
Mm-hmm.
simple. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
Mm-hmm.
who impregnated you? Who you let in the doorway? You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right.
Was it Ray Sean? Was it, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Tito, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Who you let in? You know what I'm saying?
That Jermaine,
You know
Tito,
what I'm saying?
got a lot of
I,
brothers in your book, Tommy.
you know what I'm saying? Like who you let in? All I know is for sure is Rashawn.
Yeah.
Rashawn
Yeah.
come up and was like, oh, he ain't the dad. Like, damn, mom, like what the fuck? You
Uh-huh.
just out here raw dogging everybody, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
me? So at the end of the day, it's like back in olden times, the father laid claim to the child. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
how it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I mean? We let feminism come in and this is the ramifications of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Because at the end of the day, back then they understood that I impregnate you, you give birth to my child.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
without me, you don't have a child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was watching this podcast and one time the woman was like, "Oh, we don't need men for anything. We could have we could have kids without a man." And the dude was like, "How you gonna do that?" "Oh, I could just go to a sperm clinic." And the man's like, "If men don't give their sperm, how you gonna have kids? Like, what are you talking about?" Like,
Uh-huh.
she just looked like, "Yeah, but we just don't need no men no more." I'm like, "Yo, go sit down somewhere." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it sucks for Christian Wood to go through that. You know what I'm saying? it it goes also to the point of like, yo, you could be, it don't even matter, dog. You could be Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Tom Brady. It don't even matter, son.
Mm-hmm.
So what do y'all really want for real?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because these were upper echelon, top tier men, and the
Mm-hmm.
biddies still left.
Yeah, facts. Johnny Depp, she left and left
A little shit stain on the damn pillowcase. Like, yo, what
brown
the
nugget,
fuck?
a brown nugget right on them pillows, like
Take that whole bed with you, man. I'm saying take the sheets, everything, and take that with you on your way out the door. You feel me? So it's
contam-
like, what do y'all really want?
contaminated the whole bed. Like he's supposed to just pick up a chip of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Martin and Bad Boy, it's a chip of shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Just scoop the chip of shit and just get some new cheats and shit. Like,
yeah, I was gonna get rid of it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I needed a new look. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shit is crazy. So, like, Tom Brady, like, bro, like, this shit is wild. Y'all say y'all want this. When y'all get it, then you have sex with the jujitsu master.
right,
Like,
right,
what the fuck?
yeah, yeah, right,
You let the tennis player, the tennis instructor lay pipe. Pause.
yeah, yeah.
Like, but you dealing with the top tier man. You dealing with Jeff Bezos. Ain't nobody more top tier than that.
Right. Remember in Casino? You remember my man in Casino that was, he was milking Shorty. Every time he seen him with Shorty, he had a Gucci fit, new Rolly, he had a new whip. Yeah, like 50,000 and 50,000 back in.
And he on the phone with her, like, yeah, baby. So, you just gotta, take care. He filing his nails, you know what I'm saying? In a whole Gucci apartment, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cold world out here, son. If you don't
Yeah,
stand on the square, son, it's gonna be hard for you, kid.
yeah,
It's gonna
facts.
be constantly situations like men are getting thrown on the rug. And then it's gonna be the point where, sorry and scary to say this, when you push men to a corner, y'all not gonna like the results of how they want to fight their way out that corner.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah,
not gonna like the results. Like,
yeah,
men have been allowing y'all to do these things. Yes, men
yeah,
have allowed y'all to
yeah,
do these things.
yeah.
Because without us backing you with feminism or anything, none of this shit is going down.
Right, facts.
Perfect
Facts.
example, when we was in Afghanistan and we had the guns and we was holding shit down, we allowed the women to go to school, have the driver's license, do all these things, right? As
Mm-hmm.
soon as we pulled out of Afghanistan, guess what? All that shit was over with. The man stepped in and was like, nah, we're not doing this no more.
Straight
And guess
shut down.
what? All that shit shut down. So at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, it's like, women, y'all not playing your cards right. And it's like y'all pushing, not all men, but y'all pushing certain men to a corner, and y'all not gonna like how that man's gonna wanna fight his way out the corner. If he gotta
Mm-hmm.
go through you to do it, that's gonna be an easy bout match. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Real easy.
So be it. Yeah, that's a fact. I think we just have to change the mindset when it comes to children and what our rights are and what we can and cannot do and what our assumed rights are. And as men, we also have to be benefit ourselves by learning the rights in each state. The state that you live in, you got to learn the child laws and parenting in those states, because this will be the fine line of you being able to see your child and not seeing your child. And I think the only way that it would change fundamentally and systematically, if they're if they enforce, because there's laws that the custodial parent is supposed to adhere by. There are laws. If they're the custodial parent, there's laws where the non-custodial parent have, and they have to abide by, right? And they pick and choose how they want to enforce it. But if they enforce it worldwide or nationwide amongst our of the United States, and you see women uh or the custodial parent paying, not paying, but just receiving consequences for their actions, like not letting the non-custodial parents see the child, withholding them if they don't pay child support, because I see on social media all the time, like, yo, I want to see my kid, like, yo, you got some money for me, like, nah, but the ISO bye, like, you know what I'm saying, and they use the child basically as a pawn for financial gain. So we won't see a systematic change until the laws are enforced against those custodial parents, and more likely the custodial parents will be mom. So I think that's the only way um those that would change. So
What we need to do, we need to get them dudes that be wearing suits and taking photos. They need to come together and find those custodial,
right,
non-custodial rights and enforce that, instead of marching in suits. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And chat, what Santana's talking about is that we mentioned last episode that every year you have all these melanated dudes that get together in their best suits that they could find, and it's easily about 150 of them, and these dudes happen to be lawyers and attorneys. So it's like, where are all these lawyers and attorneys when the real stuff is happening? So you know, and that's what Santana is referring to, is those lawyers, and like and all lawyers and attorneys work different fields. So, and I'm pretty sure quite a few of them work the family court, family court, stuff or situation. So, I think that's the only way we will see fundamental change, because everybody doesn't have the finances to hire an attorney to go after the custodial parent to making sure that these things are taken care of. Because, like for example, if the custodial parent gets up and move out the state without the permission of the non-custodial parents, like, yo, how am I going to see my kid? Like, yo, that ain't my problem. Like, I'm moving out over here to get my bread off for whatever reason, and it's like there's no consequences for that. So that's the only way we will see that change. It's not on us as men to debo everything. It's on us to be men and to lead our family, but it's also, if it has to go there, for the court to enforce, our rights as well, because we do matter. You can either pay child support or a really good attorney. Fact, but see, most fathers who are non-custodial parents is paying child support automatically. Automatically. I'm not saying it's an automatic that we have to, but like in the culture, it's basically automatic, because now when a woman realizes she could no longer be with you, now all of a sudden you getting, you getting some paperwork saying that now you're gonna have to pay child support. It was all cool when we was gonna be together, and I'm gonna give you some money to take care of the child, our child. But now, since we're not gonna be together, oh yeah, nah, you gotta cough up that child support. So,
And half the time, it don't even be that much money anyway. Like you was
mhm,
getting more money with y'all being together, but
right,
you went the paperwork route, and it's less money.
right,
Man,
'cause-
so it's like
yeah,
it's just stupid all around, son.
right.
Like what it boils down to. It's like child support. Like, yo, y'all quick to do that, and then y'all be quick to get back child support. Like y'all doing something. It's like, yo, that shit's crazy, son.
They make up back child support. They just make that up. Like, they just be like, um, since you're going to be paying, 600 a month now, so we talking about the baby was born 2 years ago, so we're gonna go back to when the baby was born, and then we're going. Oh, so do you got medical insurance for the baby? Oh no, all right. So we're gonna move that from 600 to 700, and like they just make this stuff up in their head. So it's unfortunate, but as fathers, if you're a non-custodial father, learn the laws in your state. Learn the laws in your state and work it, because most people cannot even afford attorneys to have them on retainer. It gets very expensive.
I don't
So,
even believe half this shit is even constitutional. Like none of this shit is constitutional. It's none of this shit is.
right, it's not constitutional to pay child support. It's suggested. Child support is suggested. And then a place like New York, they have child support enforcement. Enforcement and child support is two different entities. If you don't pay your child support in New York City, they would start um with revoking your license or revoking your passport.
And none
So,
of and how does that benefit the person that's supposed to pay if I can't get to my job? You know what I'm saying? Like this the buffoonery and coonery of this whole system. It's like, nah, that's like that's a bully tactic. Like I don't understand like why our melanated people that supposedly go into law see these plights. You may not want to go into criminal law, and I get that. But this aspect is criminal as well. But I don't see none of our melanated lawyers going to fight for us melanated men and then for men in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Implement certain laws in certain states where it's like, okay, if it works in this state, it gotta work in this state. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But y'all go to law school and do what?
Yeah. Facts. Facts. And then like for me, for example, I got custody of my daughter. So my daughter was raised in my household. When I got custody of my daughter, the first question that the judge asked me, "Do you want child support?" I said no. I don't want child support. I don't need child support. I don't need her mother to provide anything. My daughter's gonna be good. You know, she still, she still did things for our daughter, but it wasn't a requirement. You see what I'm saying? And most men would move like that. Most men, if they had, custody of their child, they're not gonna want child support from the baby mother. They're not. Most men. I'm not saying all, but most men. But we've seen in Hollywood and in the entertainment world where those men, they some of the men that end up getting child support, they caking off. But again, that's why I say you have to learn the laws in each state. So that way you know what affects you, what affects your child, and would ultimately affect your household, because they only see you as another number. They don't look at you as a family that's going through a struggle that needs something in writing and something that needs to be enforced that benefits the family. So
They just look at us like, oh, this is another dollar amount we could get into our pockets,
mm-hmm.
enforcing child support and shit.
Yeah, facts.
Don't care
Facts.
about the mother or the father or the child. You know what I'm saying? They just care about labor.
Mm-hmm.
They just use the mother as like, oh yeah, you could go after him for child support. That's the best thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
and behind closed doors, like, yo, we got another one.
Yeah,
You know
facts.
what I'm
Facts. Yeah. I don't think I can breathe in petty thought tonight.
Well, you're gonna have no choice but to handle another petty thought. You know what I'm saying? Rowan Jack, you already
Yeah.
know what he do.
Yeah. So last thing, we moving on. Um, do you think the comedian wars is getting out of control? Me, you.
It's getting real spicy to the point where it's like, yo, what is the point of this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are y'all really beefing about? Y'all had this beef for this long, and y'all never thought to like have a chop up session, like meet at the bar and get me and Brandy and sit and sip and talk it out. Like, y'all ain't think about doing none of this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
But
think it matters? My bad. Go ahead.
no, I was just being Rowan Jack. He said, "What about a petty thought?"
Do you think it matters that? Because I feel like it's attention based. Do you think it matters that it feels more attention based instead of genuine? Because majority of these comedians are 50 plus.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was like, "Yo, why ain't y'all talk about this years ago?"
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't hear not one comedian say, yeah, me and such and such had beef a couple of years back, but now me one night we ran into each other and I felt the need to talk about, and we good now. Yo, that's my homie. I don't even know why we let mad years pass. I don't hear none of them talks. It's like, yo, I've
Yeah.
been in this beef for years. And it's like, why? Man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why?
Yeah.
Because he didn't acknowledge you and say you was funny or something. Like, what type of weirdo shit y'all on?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all too damn old to be acting like this, son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, for real, son. Like, y'all supposed to be leading the culture of comedy and opening the doors for the ones coming up. And this is how y'all doing it. Y'all not leaving the comedy game in good hands. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all busy beefing with each other when y'all should be mending y'all relationships, growing as men, and then looking at the younger generation that wants to come up in comedy and look at y'all as mentors. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Men that we want to strive to be like, yo, I love your comedy, or I love how you put your thoughts together and stuff like that. I want to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? To breed a new batch of comedians coming up. Without just bashing each other, and this shit is getting weird now. And we just now in March.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the shit's getting real wacky, real weird, too spicy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Mad Zataran in the damn pot. Like, yo, y'all gotta chill, son.
Well,
Mad adobo,
mm-hmm.
saying Mad Bufale going on. Like, y'all gotta just off camera talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I guess come on your podcast. Like, yeah, me and him hashed it out. It was cool. Y'all, we talked it out. Or fuck it, just do it on the podcast and make y'all shit blow up even more. Like,
yeah.
But I doubt any one of y'all would do that because you would want to be on this person's podcast, or you want this person to come on your podcast, or it's like it's too much whole shit going on.
Yeah. I think so too. I think, like I said, I think it's more attention based because how the year started with Cat Williams. Pretty much, and what people don't realize, Cat Williams was responding to all the things that was said about him throughout the years. That was a part of the interview. So with that being said, it generated such a powder keg because now he's on tour. Now he's selling out. He's been selling out arenas, but now it's even more on top of that. And it's like they seeing the blueprint. And it's like, all right, well, this is the wave. I need to get on this platform, talk my shit, and hopefully I'll be able to sell a couple of books or go on tour or do my comedy special or whatever the case that whatever they have cooking up. It seemed like this is the new go-to, like they rappers. You know what I'm saying? So, I no matter what they do, I'll never look at comedians as rappers in the sense where they generate and beef. They want to fight each other when they see each other. It's like, you tell jokes, dog. You tell jokes. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're a man first, but you still tell jokes. So that's how I'm looking at it. Oh, you stupid. Roll Jack stupid. In the chat. But yeah, so I just think it's bad taste, it's bad quality, and focus on the craft. Nobody brand is about being great anymore. That's the biggest thing. Nobody brand is about being great. And I said this some episodes ago about my keep the lie live about attention versus being great. Everybody wants the attention, but when they receive the attention, it's ass. It's not even worth. The content is not worth it. So nobody focused on being great. Like I remember hearing Gilbert Arenas answer the question about that he would rather get $100 million than instead of getting $50 million. But with the $50 million comes with 7 championship rings. He'd rather get the 100 mil with no championship rings and he could just go buy a ring. And I think the best misnomer of that is that when you win 7 rings and make the 50 million, your brand is about winning. So if your brand is about winning, you're gonna make that 100 mil and then some on the back end. Opposed to just getting 100 million and not no team accolades, nothing that's based on winning. Like for a simple example, and again, I'm not pointing anybody out in this regard, but somebody who really got the bag and that did not win was Gilbert Arenas. He got the bag. He wasn't on no championship teams. But you take somebody like well, he's a bad example. I'm trying to think of a point guard Kenny the Jet Smith. He never received no type of money like Gilbert Arenas, but him being a starting point guard and him being a part of 2 championships with the Houston Rockets, his brand is about winning. And what has Kenny Smith have been doing for like the last 2 decades? He's been on NBA, and TNT, special with Ernie, Johnson and Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. But he's probably one of the elder statesmen on that show. Well, he's been on there for the last couple decades, so he's always making money based on his brand. I don't know what Gilbert, outside of podcasting, but they not coming to Gilbert Arenas because he's a champion. See what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think people realize the fact of being great at what you do and being a winner opposed to just getting the bag.
Facts.
So, anything you want to add before we move on?
It just sets bad precedents. You know what I'm saying? Like where you always gonna get the money regardless, but why not have a couple of championships attached to your name? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that way you're gonna have brands coming to you with a $50 million deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna make $50 million 2, 3 times, and that
Mm-hmm.
precedes that one payment of $100 million. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Like, like they try to talk about Iverson, right? And Iverson at one point was bigger than Michael Jordan in the sense of culture. Iverson was never bigger than Michael Jordan as far as globally, but the culture of basketball when we were kids, I looked up more to AI than Jordan because he was somebody that was from my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Him and Stephon Marbury, but I'm saying Iverson in particular. Well, Iverson, because culturally he looked like us, he dressed like us, he listened to hip hop, he rapped. He changed the way people walked into, or the players walked into the locker room with the jury, just the flyness, right? But he has his brand with Reebok, right? But we're not going to sit here and say Reebok is bigger than the Jordan brand. But the biggest reason why the Reebok brand is not bigger than the Jordan brand is because, unfortunately, Iverson never got a chance to win championships. Now, if Iverson would have won championships, along with that momentum of being the biggest culturally in our culture, then it could be neck and neck right now. It could be neck and neck
mhm.
because he had the charisma and the style to pull it off, opposed to like a LeBron, who is he's not neck and neck with Jordan with accolades, but there's things that LeBron is better than Jordan at, right? On and off the court, right? But his brand is not better than Jordan at all when it comes to branding. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if Iverson was able to get those rings, but Iverson brand and him being culturally into the culture like that, it could be a different conversation. So,
Mhm.
all right, so moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com. Book a session with one of the best photographers in the world, especially if you're in the Miami area. If you're not, you can still book a session. They're going to fly right out to you to hook your session up to make it happen. So again, go to bigbravosection.com. Do you got a petty thought for us?
Your man P. Diddy back in the scene again. He got into a lawsuit, but this time it's from a male producer, and he saying a lot of other stuff. Like there was other people involved in the alleged assault. He didn't name people by names, but he gave a pretty good description where he had mentioned this male rapper who was dating Nicki Minaj, and he's from Philly.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
On top of other people.
yeah.
So it's just industry not looking too good right now. You know what I'm saying? It's
Did you
just
see with Cuba Gooding Jr. and that same person?
oh yeah, he mentioned him too. He also mentioned what's his face? Young Miami cousin. There was a footage of them. I guess it was supposedly in Diddy's house or whatever. And supposedly they were drinking and he passed out and he wake up in a room with her, he half naked or whatever. Like, this shit is just shit just getting crazier and crazier. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. I'm finally happy to see this shit all get leaked out. It's about damn time because this shit been happening for far too long. There's far too many victims that we don't even know about. Far too many people involved that we don't know about. These are the ones that they just allowing out. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is just a catalyst for what is really how Hollywood really gets down, how the entertainment really gets down. You know what I'm saying? It's just this is way deeper than a P. Diddy and stuff like that. It's just the culture of how the entertainment industry does its thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole system. It's too many players involved. Everybody's hands is in the pot. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one person. It's a whole lot of people. So the fact that there's lawsuits is coming out and people's names are being brought out, it's like it's about to get crazy. The summer's about to be lit. You know what I'm saying? Like people about to get flamed on. Pause. Like it's about to be a lot of people on the chopping block. They're about to be on some Nino Brown shit, talking about the educated brother from downtown. He was the man of the whole operation. You know what I'm saying?
Real leader,
You know what I'm saying?
the real leader of CMB. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm going down, everybody else going down with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be one of them situations, and it's like it really more so is the audience gonna be prepared to hear and take in all the information that's gonna be put out because a lot of people look up to these people and like idolize them and shit. It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? The saying is you don't want to meet your idols because when you do, you see that like, oh shit, like nah, this ain't the person I thought they were. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, son. So my petty thought is the fact of Diddy having another lawsuit and it's a male producer and this supposed producer is calling out other people and it's just all bad all around because it's like, you producing music with somebody, but you ain't have a contract for you to get paid right away. Like, I don't understand. Like, y'all done, it's so many, just on the aspect of the contract game alone, there's so many instances before you even got, because you was doing music producing with him in 2022. So all the years prior to that, you did not have no evidence of like people doing business and not having a contract written right and not getting paid right. So you didn't have no inkling of like, let me make sure my contract is right so I get paid for my work. You don't think about looking in the past. It's like, that's why this should be weird because it's like, were you getting paid on the back end and then you decide the money wasn't enough? Now you want that bigger bag or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like really weird. So I'm all for the shit coming out. All the shit that's been done in the dark finally coming out and seeing how the public reacts to it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing how they take in like, damn, son, this dude was doing that. Like, I thought he was this. I thought he was that. And he's really like a switch hitter. You know what I'm saying? So it's just too much evidence out here to be like, these people not really living the life they saying they living. They just spraying an image for a bag. You know what I'm saying? But behind closed doors, they doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's just too much work for nobody to know nothing.
Just know nothing. You just know ties. That's all you know.
You know what I'm saying? Rubble, rubble, rubble. You know what I mean?
There be so many people in the damn studio. Don't nobody know nothing. Nobody ain't see nothing. So you ain't see him slip some in the drink and it's like, how you get a drink offered to you, but you ain't see Buddy make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I drink that.
Yeah. Like, whoa. I ain't even see you pour in the cup. I ain't see you get out the refrigerator. I ain't see you pour in the cup. I ain't see nothing. I'm just supposed to sit. Nah, son. You know what I'm saying? We know this from being young. Like, not had nothing to do with the industry. No, you never take a drink from somebody who you ain't see make it. You definitely don't smoke no weed from somebody you ain't seeing roll it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they offer you the blunt and they not smoking it.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm good. That's yours.
Like, what? Where your blunt at? Oh, no, I smoked earlier. Huh? Man, it sucks. So it's like it's just interesting. So again, like I said, it's only March. It's March 1st today. So by the end of March, there's gonna be a couple of more other people on the chopping block. You know what I'm saying?
It's very interesting. Interesting. They also named Stevie J to that. The producer Stevie J that was on Love and Hip Hop. He was saying that, if I could be mistaken, but this is one of them documents that Stevie J was also named, that um Diddy wanted Stevie J, and this man to get active.
I'm saying like during the heyday of Bad Boy, he was a producer.
Right.
You know
He's
what I'm saying?
still a producer for Bad Boy.
So it's not far fetched for. It's literally not that far fetched, son.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, stuff going down. He about to take his shirt off. Like, oh yeah, this was going down. It's kind of weirdos that be like Gordo says. They pick these people, son.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're not picking top tier, upstanding men. They picking low hanging fruit. Pause. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Diddy, when he first started his career, he had that party in I forget. I think it was like Brooklyn or something like that, when 9 people died.
Yeah. 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 Yep. 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 I remember that.
So they already see how you move for some bread. You willing to have people get stomped over so for some extra money
Mm-hmm.
because you oversold the tickets and it was over capacity. So that's how you started in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of chatter in the back end that Clyde Davis was one that introduced them to the life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
to get on, because you got to think about it. The dude dropped out of college to be an intern, and then all of a sudden you running a label. How?
Yeah.
What credentials you got to run a label? You just dropped out of college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Supposedly, him being an intern at the label, supposedly him being there early, staying late, supposedly Mary J. Blige, because the label had at that time, we talking about Uptown Records, they had top tier artists such as Heavy D and the Boys, Mary J. Blige, and Father MC, and Jodeci. So supposedly he got in good because he taught them, well, more so the guys, not Mary J. Blige, but he taught them really how to dress street, to give him that street cred, because he was always in the clubs and always around the fashion. This is what supposedly the story was. Um, and this is why he got access to basically go from interning to A&Ring, then handling, then producing, and then basically being second in charge. So I don't know. I don't know. But these stories is mounting up. But I'm also a big proponent. If everybody says the same thing about you, doesn't make it true. No, it doesn't make it true, because it depends on the audience of who you ask and those particular people, what they're trying to gain. But we go back to Bad Boy. We go back to Bad Boys. It's just too much work for nobody not to know nothing. Like it's just too much work.
If
And
ev- if everybody's saying like it's a growing joke, and they're like, oh, don't be going to the Diddy parties, or don't stay too late at the Diddy parties, and If that's the growing joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, back to your point, it's too many people not act like they don't know nothing. Like,
mm-hmm,
y'all know something.
mm-hmm.
That means y'all went to the Diddy parties, stayed too long, and realized, like, oh shit,
Or they experience something that they don't want to expose themselves.
that
That,
part too.
you know what I'm saying? Like I could speak on it because, but people won't speak on it without throwing themselves in the fire. You know what I'm
They be like,
saying?
oh, I left early though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's why I believe not to switch off from Diddy, pause, when all the stuff supposedly that happened with R. Kelly, there was no real outpour from the artists that was out at that time, because those artists was partaking in that culture as well too. If the stories are true about R. Kelly, and so you didn't hear nothing from certain artists. It's like, yeah, because you was, everybody at that time was a part of that wave. When you see the big dog moving and grooving like that, and it's acceptable, then you mean to tell me a few of y'all didn't partake, like, but the ones that, the ones that did partake, they not saying jack shit because they don't want the attention to come back to them.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's a double-edged sword, because it's like if you say something and expose somebody else and don't expose yourself, you look crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you look crazy, but it seems a little bit far-fetched
Right.
that you, quote unquote, then sip the drink and then eat the chicken sandwich, and you just kept your hands in your pocket and you just walked around like uh Cat Williams said, fucked around and walked in the wrong room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You did get invited to the parties.
Right.
A lot of people in this industry, they always talk about, yo, getting invited to the parties. When they finally get to this certain level, then they invite you to parties, and then.
So let me ask you a question. If you was at a party, it was an industry party, and you walking around and you walk into a room where you see some of your I don't want to say heroes, but some of the people that you thought were cool on TV, and these are guys, and they get into it with other guys. Obviously, you're gonna get the hell up out of there. But what's the immediate thing that's gonna come to your mind outside of getting the hell up out of there?
See, I don't have a poker face, so I'm not gonna be able to hide my face. So it's gonna be whatever I walk into, it'll be just an air of disgust, like, oh shit, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
like Dave Chappelle said, you could mess up a whole orgy session with one word, evil. Just walk in this shit and be like, ew. And ruin the whole orgy session. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that's the thing. Like you see that shit, then it's like you gotta pretend like you ain't really see it for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they gonna, like, I remember, I forget who it was. I think it was Inspector Deck was saying that he walked into a room by accident and seen cats that supposed to be rough and tough, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doing real Thoisy wave.
Yeah.
And then they come out and they act like nothing happened. Like, and they come up to you all of a sudden, like, yo, what's good, my G? Like, trying to get your energy and shit, like, see where you at, where your temperature is at.
Yeah.
He's like, and it's too many of these stories, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about artists from like the East Coast, other artists from Houston, Cali, Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't necessarily know each other, but they know each other because they're in the same industry, which is music, right?
Yeah.
So now that they're in the music, they're not all going to the same parties all at the same time.
Right. Right.
They're going to different parties. Their label probably throwing a party here. This company throwing a party there, and it'd be and a lot of times it'd be in Cali, but it'd be in the mountain, like in the upper echelons. You can't even get to these areas,
right?
Because they gated off before you even get to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exclusive shit. Mm-hmm.
Real exclusive shit. So you get up there, get to these parties, like Cal Williams says, you ain't even been in Hollywood for long. You just hyped to see motherfuckers and shit. And like he said in his first stand-up, was like, you fuck around, walk in the wrong room, and you see two men kissing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What the hell?
I was just about to bring up Cat Williams at first, special, because he talked about his experience when he went to the Playboy Mansion, and he said he walked in there. He said, "Nigga, come here. Is that Professor Ogilvy?" Like, he didn't want to say Ogilvy from the Parkers, but
You know who he talking about.
Right. As the coach.
He always looked like he was zesty. You know what I'm saying? So a little.
Yeah. carry that energy, that Dobo energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
So,
yeah.
but my thing is like, okay, yeah, you've seen that happen, but what happened afterwards and what happened before you walked in that room? You ain't partaking nothing. You ain't try to holler at a shorty or whatever. And they'll do things where if they know you down with women, they'll do things where it's like, oh, you at a party, you think it's industry, and you see all these women, they so quote unquote look like models. Half of them could be underage. You're not even asking none of these questions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Take shorty back to the room, do what you do. You don't even know that the room that you go into is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then later on, now it's time to renegotiate your contract. And they talking about, yo, we want to keep you for 5 albums. And you was like, nah, I ain't trying to do that.
Popping the tip.
You ain't trying to do that? He's like,
Yeah.
nah, I ain't trying to do that. Or you want to rock with us for 5 more albums? All right, popping the tape. Show him what he did last night. Then it's like, oh shit. It's like, yeah, son, I was underage, and you'll have stories like that. When a bunch of stories with not saying it's necessarily true, but they are out there, you know what I'm saying, with Russell Simmons and when he was going to the fashion shows and all that stuff. Like I forget there was a movie, I forget the name of the movie. I think it's some demon or whatever. But it was basically about this young chick who ran away from her crib and wanted to be Neon Demon.
Mm-hmm.
Neon Demon. So it was about a young girl who ran away from her family and wanted to get into the fashion industry. But she lied to the recruiters and said that she was 18, but she was really 16.
Mm-hmm.
Saying so they put her through the rigorous training of being a top fashion model, and then she passes all the tests and she starts getting recognition. So
Mm-hmm.
now she's starting to move on up, and then she's starting to see like, yeah, you got to be out all night and you got to go to these parties and rub
Mm-hmm.
elbows with these industry people, and they looking at you just like you a piece of piece of meat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, she's 16 though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not far fetched for that scenario to happen if we talk about the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s, before there was any offset of Instagram and social media where you could get on the phone, get on your phone real quick and blast, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So 8 millimeter now. Yeah. I'm saying like, you got to think about it. Where do they get this idea from? You're not that creative to just think of this out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They actually got that idea from the 80s. It was an episode on Miami Vice, and there was an episode about snuff films.
So
So
see, the thing about snuff films, the snuff films been around supposedly since like the early 70s. It's always been like this myth about
right,
snuff films. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So like that's always been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, even with the advent of film industry, you know what I'm saying? Because you
and
gotta think about it in the sense of the ritualistic and the occult and the spiritual aspect of it. Like you basically trap somebody's soul within the tape forever.
right.
So now you have power and dominion over that soul because it's in the tape. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they do rituals and all that other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So that's why the snuff film has always had that era of mystique behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
people heard about it, but nobody know nothing about it, or but it's always been a whisper in in the um
And,
in the
and
industry for a long time. So it's like, but where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? It had to come from somewhere.
and for people that don't understand it in the chat, like for people that don't understand on the rewatch, the reason why because people say, well, why people continue to go to these parties, because a lot of the times these are newer people, right? And the newer people, they're trying to gain access, right? And the way to gain access, you have to go to the parties to mix and mingle. You got to come to this party because the mover and shaker of Bud Light is going to be there, and if he meets you, he see you. You already got a brand, you already got music or a movie. Like, yo, they can make you the Budweiser guy. You know what I'm saying? You go meet him. You know what I'm saying? You rub elbows a little bit, and then you're gonna be straight. Now, what you do outside of that meeting is totally on you. You know what I'm saying? But this is why people are in these situations, because when they go to these parties, they're being told this person is going to be here, that person, this publisher is going to be here. After you do your albums, you think about writing a book, you need to come so you can meet this publisher, and she could get you published, or he could get you published, or whatever the case may be. So these are why the reasons why you have endless amounts of stories, because people are going to these parties with the hope of all this going on. Like a year ago, one of my homegirls, she called me. She was so excited. She got invited to to some parties, and she was like, "Yeah, I met this guy. He seemed cool. He does this, and but he's telling me to come to this party because this person is going to be there. That person is going to be there. I said, yo, ain't none of them people going to be there. All the people that you gonna meet that night is people you never heard of before. All the people that he's referring to, they might pop up. There's a possibility, but they're not gonna be there. It's gonna be a whole bunch of people that work with that person or say they work with that person, but they're not gonna have no real proof that they work with this person or actually gave this person a leg up to be the person that they are today. So be very careful. I know you're going there anyway, but be very careful. It's all a ploy just to get some ass from you. That's all it is. The whole purpose is to get you there, so you be like, wow, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, you work with J Lo. Oh yeah, you work with Diddy. Oh yeah, you work with Jay Z or whoever. And in their mind, they thinking that this person is the sole reason for that person's success. So now to get on at the end of the night, the person gonna be like, yeah, so you had a good time? Cool. Like, yo, we're about to leave. We're gonna go back to my place. All right. And that's how that's gonna be. So you're gonna put yourself in harm's way. And that's why we continue to have these type of stories.
You gotta think about it like this. That's like saying you got a lawyer, right? And you want to close on a deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for you to close on the deal, you got to meet with your lawyer to have a meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
What sense would it make for you to close a deal with your lawyer, but you got to meet him at a party?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you close on a deal if you at a party?
Right. Right.
Y'all not meeting in the office during office hours.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not meeting at a business dinner. You know what I'm saying? Or a business lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all not meeting nowhere constructive but a party. Like, what kind of business could you possibly do at a party?
And see, here's the thing, because these people who are decision makers, they decide what's going to be the meeting ground. Because if they get down, if you come to their office, they're like, I don't even want to talk to you. I'm here in my office. It's like, whoa, but this is the place to talk business. Now, come see me at the club later. Come pull up when we at the club, man. Like, that's where we're going to do business. Late night, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to have a party. Like, what? So going back to Diddy, or basically we're adding on to the whole Diddy thing, is like, I remember when he was on Drink Champs and he looked at Fabulous, he was like, man, we haven't partied in a minute, you know what I'm saying? And Fab was like, what you mean? Like, we went to a party before. He was like, nah, I'm saying like we ain't never party, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that know what I'm saying is the stuff that's going on now when they get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't party, you know what I'm saying?
The funny part is Jadakiss' face, his reactions while Diddy is saying that, having that back and forth with Fabulous. That's the part where it's like, that's the funniest part. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what be going on, but don't nobody say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying like Jadakiss partaked in it. It was just his face where it's like, nah, you don't
Like,
want to go to them parties.
yeah, we know what's happening. Like,
Right. Because at a party, I know what be happening at a party. Be drinking, music. What kind of business could you possibly handle at a party? It's loud, the music is loud. Like, how you gonna have a conversation to make sure that your criteria and the stuff that you want are gonna be fulfilled with this business? You know what I'm saying? With this business meeting y'all got going on.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all not meeting at office at 9 a.m. sharp and to iron out the details of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
But you gonna meet at a party, or you gonna meet him at excuse me, you're gonna meet him at the hotel lobby.
Right. But then we got to keep it real too, right? Like these parties is basically a way to solidify that somebody is supposed to be popping. So when you see these pictures with these people, like an upcoming artist, he goes to the Diddy party and he got a picture with Diddy, he got a picture with Meek Mill, and he gets another picture with, the other artists that are popping. He might run into one of his favorite actors or actress, have a picture with them. So now when he posted and now it's out, like, all right, so now he's solidified. Now he's successful. So that's why people is hid under that realm of that. You know what I'm saying? So um but to add on to your point, it's just it's a it's a weird situation.
Nah, facts. Cause none of that mean nothing. Just cause you took a picture with a motherfucker don't mean that you lit. You know what I'm saying?
What
But
right? But right to you knowing the game, right? But the outside looking in, the average viewer, the fan,
yeah, they're gonna assume that, oh yeah, you on and popping, but you ain't
right,
you
right,
don't you ain't doing nothing yet. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
But it's the allure, it's the illusion, so they can attract more people into it, and they'll follow suit through the same route that you went. You know what I'm saying? But you
Hmm.
ain't gonna go back and give them a game and let them know like, nah, this ain't what it is, because
Yeah,
you ain't it's yours yet.
yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
So it's like it's all bad. So I'm just intrigued to see how this shit gonna play out. If his handlers for Diddy's gonna look out for him, get this lawsuit crushed, or allow him to fall by the wayside and get somebody else to move on up on his position. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In the chat, don't forget Terry Crews had his Me Too moment also. Yeah, he actually just had a interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. And he was telling basically his story. I didn't finish watching it, but the parts that I seen, he was mainly talking about his time in the NFL. But I gotta sit down and watch the rest of it. But I do remember that situation where some sort of movie producer felt comfortable enough in front of Terry Crews' wife on top of that to grab his junk.
That's what I'm saying. It's that culture. You had a party, you had an industry party. These execs don't give a fuck about you dealing with people that got god awful amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? So you coming to them for a little check or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you got in their eyes, you playing by their rules,
Mm-hmm.
and their rules is something totally different than what we used to. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So that's why Buddy felt comfortable enough to grab him by the jump because he
Mm-hmm.
felt like he was non-threatening and you was in the party. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, facts, and then like him grabbing his junk paws, like is like him doing it in front of his wife or not in front of his wife is like it's the gall to do it in front of the wife, but you still did it. Like, so if the wife wasn't there, you still getting pounded out, pause. Like, you still getting drop kicked. So, for the fact that he felt comfortable doing that and felt comfortable that there would be no backlash, because I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I don't even know the person name that did that to Terry Crews.
I don't think he name drops it for a reason because you still gotta get your not you still gotta break bread, and these people either make or break your career. Because after that, he was doing Brooklyn Nine-Nine for mad seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You think that he would have had Brooklyn Nine-Nine if he dropped the name?
Right,
You
right,
know what I'm saying?
right. And not to mention, he started off in movies. Now he ended up in shows, and in the pantheon of movies and shows, you rather be a movie star than somebody necessarily on shows, because that put being a movie star puts you in a whole nother stratosphere of acting.
Right,
You
but
know,
if they make that call, be like, nah, we're not fucking with Terry Crews no more.
facts. It's
You
a
know what I'm
wrap.
saying?
It's a
It's a
wrap.
wrap.
That's a
They'll
fact.
they'll label you as difficult.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like they did the first Aunt Viv in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith said, quote unquote, she was difficult. You ain't seen her ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
That shit's crazy.
All right, so we're moving on to the next segment. Keep the lie live segment.
Keep the lie alive.
The lie live. So my keep the lie live portion of this show is dating younger women. Um, this is such a hot topic, and I've seen it on social media. I've seen it, on other not other podcasts because we don't do that. But I've seen it just basically on social media. I've seen people talk about it amongst the peer groups of of men dating younger women. Now, the general thought process of why men date younger women to the outside world is that most people think that the reason why men date younger women is because they're easier to manipulate. That is a false, right? Another one misnomer is that they're because they are lacking in experience, right? That older man can handle a woman his age. Another misnomer. Another misnomer. So at the end of the day, the reason why older men or just men date younger women is because one, they have less bodies. Have less bodies. So it's the less chance for STD, is less mileage on her. Normally, when a man is around his 50s, if you haven't been married to that woman for extended period of time, then she has a lot of bodies, right? If you're a married man and been married for 5 years and more, this doesn't necessarily pertain to you and your wife because she's a married woman. You're growing with your woman. But if you're a single man and you're 40 plus and you choose to date younger women, and some other women be like, well, what would y'all have in common? Plenty. Because a woman naturally stops growing, I don't want to say mentally, but as far as everyday shit on conversation, mentality, mindset, you stop growing after a certain age. So it doesn't matter. So the biggest difference is that older women know how to mask her immaturity, but at some point it's going to rear its ugly head. A younger woman, she does it because she's younger. She's going to say what she feels, and but again, that's why an older man rather deal with a younger woman is because he could show her the way of not to react and build things inside of her, a foundation on how to positively communicate. So those are the foundations of why a man or older man would date a younger woman. And I'm talking about a woman. I'm not talking about a child. I'm talking about a woman. So someone be like, well, when you want to date somebody your age so they can have more in common with you, like that don't make no type of sense. A woman is a woman. So somebody younger than me, we can't have the same things in common. Oh, but they never seen this show that we grew up on. They have uh HBO Max. We could rewatch those shows together.
They
This
got
thing,
Tubi. Tubi got everything.
they got everything. You know what I'm saying? So this misnomer on not having stuff in common, like you, a man or older man will have more in common with a younger woman than a woman his age anyway. Outside of sex, may want to go out, have a good time, want more kids, and when a older man has kids with a younger woman, she's young enough for her body to get back right. So those are the things why older men choose a younger woman. Less bodies, a chance for him to really show her how the way to positively communicate within a relationship is just easier to deal with, especially the less bodies part because like you don't want to have to deal with another woman's energy, and that's what it boils down to, dealing with less energy, because when you have sex with somebody you deal with each other's energy. Now mind you, because women get penetrated, I would believe that the average woman that turns 50 who was never married, if she was never married and she turns 50, I would assume it's safe to believe that she had at least 50 bodies in her life. At least. At least 50 bodies from the age of 20 to 40. If she has sex with 3 people a year, if she went to college on top of that. So this is not a knock against women who are older, but we need to stop with the misnomer that older men doesn't have anything in common with younger women. Again, younger women who are of age, legal standing, mind, body, and soul, who are women. Just to give you an idea, that say this man is 42 and this younger woman is 24. Let's say that. That's a grown ass woman. So instead of dealing with somebody her own age who's not able to, most men at that age are not providers yet. They still in their come up. Most men at that age still haven't are not comfortable in their life to go on trips and things of that nature, basically controlling their own destiny. But a man that's in his early 40s is that's out actively dating. So we got to stop with this notion of that. Anything you want to add to that?
Most of that come from the women anyway. A lot of the old men only choose younger women to control them. That's coming from women.
Mm-hmm.
Old men want to date little girls. That's coming from women.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like no man had ever said he wants to date little girl, and if he does,
Facts.
he already fooled. He going to jail. You know what I'm saying? We
Facts.
talking about adults. When you 18, you're an adult. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we talking about 21 and up. You're an adult already. You can make decisions for yourself. Now all of a sudden you can't because it comes to dating. But when you by yourself, you can choose what profession you want to go into. You're an adult to do that. But now all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden you're not an adult to pick the partner you want to be with. Come on, stop it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Most of the time it's the women that already past their prime anyway. Because at the end of the day, by the time you're 30, what could you possibly bring to the table for me? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You already done seen all types of strong pause. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right. Facts.
off
Facts.
rip. Like you can't tell me that you haven't. Like, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But on average, you went to high school and you got a pop in high school, oh for sure your numbers is way up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't get popping in high school, but you got popping in college, yeah, by the time you 35, you done got ran through by life. Like you said, 40 to 50 dudes. Like, what am I gonna do with a woman that got 40 and 50 different personalities inside of you?
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna do with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what could I possibly do with that? Like, we can't build on none. You already jaded, you already holding trauma from the last 3 songs you done sat on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of men rather deal with a younger woman because um they're more pleasant and more that again the less bodies is the most important one. Yes, you could find a woman that even if she's young that is loose in the caboose too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Facts. Yeah.
But the likelihood of you finding more of that is less lower than you dealing with a woman older with a low body count. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That nah. Because like you said, if you're not married, then you was out for the streets.
Right.
But if you was married for like 10 to 12 years and you recently got divorced and
Mm-hmm.
you took 2 years to find yourself and shit, mm,
Right.
that find yourself is like,
If
I
if
don't
you
know.
if you was only dating women, only having sex with women for a period of time, then but a lot of the women that I know that deal with women, I'm pretty sure that they was getting piped here,
By
right?
other men too. Right. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you deal with other women, it's still
Mm-hmm.
You're still dealing with men at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's why a lot of men rather deal with younger women, and then to the point where it's like, yo, you might as well just leave this whole country of women on their own. Like men can just go to other countries and get other melanated women in other countries. It's
Mm-hmm.
that simple. You know what I'm saying?
And then women just have to deal with the fact that men like younger women. It's just simple and fact. So if you're past a certain age as a woman, you your best option is to deal with a man who's older. So if you're in your 40s as a woman, your best bet is to deal with a man who's in his 50s, maybe 60s, that don't want any more children. He just want to, he just want to go have some fun, live his life, and you could be the woman on his arm. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But to say that because the man in your age demographic don't want to wife you because of the history of bodies, because of the fact that you're jaded, you don't have much energy to work with, meaning like the having conflict amongst a relationship. Most A lot of I don't want to say most and all, but a lot of women resort back to again masking that immaturity, and then when that maturity rears its ugly head, it's like this is the reason why that you've been around these particular men, and none of them have never took you serious, never wifed you. So now that you're past your prime, your best bet is to get with a older man that doesn't want that doesn't want any more kids. He done raised his kids already. He's just trying to, have his fun and just live out his life and have you a part of it. Simple as that. So if you're a woman that's in her 40s and you date a man that's in his 50s, so that's so much in common. Like you're acting like there's not a whole decade missing of things that he could talk about that you don't know. But that's still ridiculous because he could just tell you,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. It's just a ridiculous statement and mindset for our just women to have that, when a man who's like in his early 40s dates somebody that's in his 20s, it looks nasty. It's not right. He only dating her because he's not strong enough to date the another 41-year-old or 42-year-old woman. Like that's just ridiculous. So I want to get rid of that misnomer on people not having this in common. If people love sex, that's something that they have in common. If people like going out, that's something that they like have in common. If people like Italian food, Chinese food, that's something that they will have in common. It's so much other things other than just watching TV shows that came out that was popular that you could talk about to have something in common.
Facts.
So we're gonna end that right there. Yo, episode 35 has been a blast. Yo, just to keep y'all updated, yo, thank y'all for the subscribes. Y'all been blowing up the page even more and more and more. Like I said, every time we get to another 1,000 of the subscribers, we're gonna do some giveaways on the show as well. So help us get to 5,000 subscribers for our podcast, Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. Again, make sure y'all hit patreon.com, Can the Brothas Get a Rap Podcast. So make sure y'all hit that. Um, Shout out to the sponsors of the show, OUV Records, Button Snaps, and Bravo Section. So make sure y'all tap in. And if you want to become or interested in becoming another sponsor of the show, you can hit me up at Ashley Lovechild on Instagram, or my brother Santana on his Instagram at.
That'll be Bravo section _
So make sure you hit me or him up, pause, on Instagram if you're interested in becoming one of the other sponsors of the show. Any last words, my brother, before we sign off?
Nah, we're in a great cast. You know what I'm saying? Chat been lively all night tonight. Appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna tune in again on Sunday for another jam-packed show of the Can the Brothers Get a Rock podcast. And we just appreciate y'all, man. Just keep tuning in, keep fucking with us.
Facts. Gotta shout out the chat real quick. Rowan Jack, you stupid. He said Rowan 12, you belong to the streets. Yo, he gonna see that. You know how Rowan 12 do. He crazy with that. He crazy with that. So again, yo, it's all love. We'll see y'all Sunday for episode 36. Again, bring that energy, bring that love, because we love, yo. Thank you again. We out.